Buenas tardes, damas y caballeros, mesdames y messieurs, ladies, gentlemen, and everyone in between. It is with great pleasure that we present to you the Tuesday edition of the Fossil of the Day. As many of you may know, the Fossil of the Day is an award given by Cannes International each day to the country that is the best at being the worst, that has done the most to do the least, and is trying their hardest to make sure we do not arrive at a fair, just, and binding climate agreement that we all so desperately need. And as many of you know, we begin each Fossil Award with a presentation and a group sing-along of the Fossil of the Day song. I would like to invite all of you to join us now for in the song. Ready? Everyone? Yes? Ready? Yep. Ready? You? Ready? ¿Listos todos? ¿Sí? On est prêt? Yeah. Maestro, please. Fossil of the day, fossil of the day, who is bad, who is worse? Fossil of the day, fossil of the day, all the blame, all the shame, fossil of the day. Those guys clapped. Now, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. As many of you know, the COP can be a confusing place. There are many rooms with strange names. There are many subgroups with stranger names. And there are things such as non-papers, which I don't think anyone has a clear concept of how we got to that terminology. Someone does. Good. I'm glad someone knows what's going on. But I've also found recently that there's the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change Guide to Negotiations, which has an extensive list of all of the things, the acronyms we might not understand, like BUR and CACAM and CDB and LULUCF and CHI and I and IDA and DPI. All of these many things that, honestly, it is quite understandable if you do not understand all of this. Si no entiende todo lo que está pasando aquí, es completamente normal. Hay muchas cosas muy formales. But recently, late last night, it came to our agreement that there seems to be a slightly more basic level of misunderstanding happening among some of our delegations here at COP. So we, instead of doing a normal Fossil of the Day, we're going to use this as an education time to talk to some of those delegates about, to try to clear up some of the questions they might have. So, to do this, we are going to use this whiteboard. And can I ask someone from the audience that might be confused about some of the intricacies of this process to come up and we can try to explain some of these questions? Anyone? Yeah. Oh, great. Yeah, come on up. Right this way. Fantastic. So, thank you. So, what specifically are you confused about? Or do you have any specific questions?
I mean, a lot of the stuff is difficult, you know.
Yeah, a lot of it's difficult. Cool. Well, let's start with the basics. This is the Earth, the planet that we're on.
Yeah, it's flat.
No, it's not flat. It's just a drawing that is flat. But okay, so let's keep moving along. So around this bubble is a thing we call the atmosphere. Yep, atmosphere.
Oh, like a bubble.
Yeah, exactly, like a bubble. And we'll get back to that in a little bit.
Is that going to pop?
Yes, that's the problem, is that bubbles pop. Always. So, and our bubble, part of the problem is we're filling it up with CO2, which is causing the temperature to rise. And many of us have agreed we want to keep climate change below a 2-degree rise.
Yeah, it's a bit confused with that one.
Yeah, yes. The long-term temperature goals can be confusing. Is anyone else having a problem with this part of the negotiations?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, let's see if we can work through this a little bit more. So, this CO2 comes from burning fossil fuels, among other things, and inside the Earth is a lot of coal. And when we burn that coal, it goes into the atmosphere.
Yeah, but coal's good for the economy.
Coal is good for the economy. Yes, I guess in a short term, and depending how you factor in all of the unaccounted costs, people do say that, okay. But there's a lot of coal here. So, for example, in one particular project in the Galilee Basin, there's about 7% of what would be our carbon budget to stay below 2 degrees. So that's a lot of coal. If we were to burn that, we'd be in some trouble.
Yeah, that one's real good for the economy, that one. I like that.
Yeah, again, limited concept of economy, but you seem to get some of it. Great. So, but the problem is, if we burn all of this coal, it could trigger a global death spiral of climate chaos that could potentially release a methane burp from underneath the Arctic and trigger a global ice age.
Yeah, but I'll get really rich.
Yeah, you might get rich, but there'll still be the ice age to deal with. Look, okay, maybe we can make this hit home a little closer. We'll try to use another format. Look, here's a picture of part of our world. Yeah, you see? Yeah, you're familiar.
Yeah, I know that place.
Okay, cool. What place is this?
Looks like the Great Barrier Reef to me.
Great, and what is the Great Barrier Reef?
It's in the way of our coal ports.
It's in the way of the coal ports.
Yeah, see, we've got a big coal port we want to make for all that Galilee coal, and then but we don't want to go round. We want to go just through the middle of that place.
Okay, so you are proposing to dredge a channel through the World Heritage Site of the Great Barrier Reef to get at 7% of the world's carbon budget of coal.
Well, yeah.
Alright, so maybe let's go back to this bubble concept, because everyone else here pretty much has been talking about this 2 degrees limit, which means that massive infrastructure projects such as that one of the Galilee Basin being organized by the Adani Indian Coal Company and financed by the Commonwealth Bank of Australia, such projects will never happen because they'll never be economically viable because the carbon costs will be too high and put us above our carbon limit. Yes?
Yeah, that's a bit confusing to me, that one.
Okay. So, let's step back a little bit. Again, because there's concepts here of, another concept is global solidarity. Have people heard of global solidarity?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. And are you familiar with that term? Yeah. We've noticed that you're not familiar with the concept of global solidarity. But perhaps there's someone else from your country who's here that might be more familiar with some of these concepts that are being presented here. Could anyone step forward? Oh, here. What a coincidence. Come along, here, right this way.
So I'm Christine Milne, I'm the leader of the Greens in our national parliament.
Thank you. And we're wondering, could you maybe try to explain a little bit about this 2 degrees limit and global solidarity and what that actually means, in the hopes that someone from your country has some idea of what reality is in these thoughts?
Well, I can tell you that the overwhelming majority of Australians get it. They get that we need to constrain global warming to less than 2 degrees. They absolutely get it that we're in this together, and the Greens stand in global solidarity wherever we are around the world, saying we want strong action on global warming. And I have to say, I'm ashamed that our country is behaving as a pariah in these climate talks. And I want to comment just briefly on our Minister's announcement a minute ago that Australia is going to put $200 million over 4 years into the Green Climate Fund. It's a good thing that Australia has finally done that, and that's thanks to all of you. The pressure from the international community has been such that they couldn't withstand it any longer and had to put up some money. But the real question is, where's the money coming from? In the last year, this government, the Australian government, slashed $7.6 billion from our overseas aid budget. Is the $200 million over 4 years coming out of what remains of the overseas aid budget?